Sleep is not just something that happens to you, it is something your brain learns. Many people think sleep is automatic. You get tired, you close your eyes, you fall asleep. But sleep is also a habit, a conditioned biological pattern that strengthens or weakens depending on repetition. Your brain builds associations. Bed equals sleep, darkness equals night, silence equals rest, or bed equals scrolling. Darkness equals thinking. Night equals stimulation. The brain adapts to patterns. This means sleep can be trained, not forced, but trained. At the core of sleep training is circadian consistency. Your brain's master clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, thrives on regular timing. When you wake at roughly the same time each day, your internal clock stabilizes. Hormones begin rising predictably. Body temperature shifts on schedule. Melatonin release becomes more precise. Irregular wake times confuse this rhythm. Sleeping in 2 hours later on weekends may feel harmless, but it shifts the clock. The brain interprets it as a time zone change. Training sleep begins with wake time, not bedtime. You cannot always control when you fall asleep, but you can anchor when you wake. That anchor stabilizes the system. Light is the strongest training signal. Morning light exposure tells the brain that the day has begun. It suppresses melatonin. It increases cortisol in a healthy way. It locks in circadian timing. 10 to 20 minutes of natural daylight within the first hour of waking is more powerful than any supplement. Even cloudy daylight is stronger than indoor lighting. Evening light reduction is the second pillar. Your brain needs contrast. Bright days, dim nights. If nights remain bright, the brain delays its timing. Dimming lights 1 to 2 hours before sleep creates a biological runway toward rest. But light alone is not enough. Your brain also forms behavioral associations. This is called stimulus control. If you spend hours awake in bed, watching videos, worrying, thinking, your brain stops associating the bed with sleep. It associates it with wakefulness. Stimulus control retrains that link. Bed is for sleep. If you cannot fall asleep within about 20 minutes, getting up briefly and returning later prevents the brain from linking bed with frustration. This sounds counterintuitive, but it strengthens conditioning. Sleep is not about trying harder. It is about reducing conflict. There is also sleep pressure. Adenosine builds. The longer you are awake, napping too long or too late reduces that pressure. For some people, removing long afternoon naps improves nighttime sleep quality. Exercise plays a powerful role. Regular physical activity increases slow wave sleep intensity. It builds sleep pressure naturally, but timing matters. Intense exercise very late at night may increase alertness temporarily. Earlier in the day, it strengthens nighttime depth. Temperature matters too. Your core body temperature naturally drops before sleep. A cooler environment supports that drop. Warm showers about an hour before bed can paradoxically help because the body cools afterward. The brain responds to temperature shifts as sleep signals. There is also cognitive training. Many people experience racing thoughts at night. The brain shifts from distraction to internal processing. If stress accumulates during the day, night becomes processing time. Creating a wind-down ritual signals the brain that processing can slow. Reading something neutral, stretching lightly, writing down tomorrow's tasks, externalizing thoughts reduces cognitive load. Sleep thrives in predictability. Irregular meals, late caffeine, late heavy meals, all shift biological signals. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors. Its half-life can extend 6 to 8 hours for sensitive individuals. Even afternoon caffeine can delay sleep onset, draining. Sleep also involves reducing hyperarousal. Hyperarousal is a state where the nervous system remains alert even when the body is tired. Chronic stress increases baseline arousal. Breathing exercises, slow exhalations, or mindfulness practices can shift the nervous system toward parasympathetic dominance. Sleep is not switched on. It emerges when arousal decreases and rhythm aligns. Importantly, sleep training takes time. Circadian shifts occur gradually. 15 to 30 minutes earlier per day is sustainable. Sudden dramatic shifts often fail. The brain resists abrupt change. It prefers gradual recalibration. There is also expectation. If you believe you cannot sleep, the brain anticipates struggle. Anticipation increases alertness, reducing performance. Anxiety around sleep can improve onset. Sleep is not a task to complete. It is a state to allow. and the more consistent your signals, light, timing, behavior, the more automatic it becomes. You are not forcing sleep. You are shaping conditions where it naturally occurs. Your brain is adaptable. Neural circuits respond to repetition. Regular patterns strengthen sleep onset speed. Deep sleep stabilizes REM. Cycles become predictable. Sleep can be trained, not perfectly, not instantly, but gradually, through rhythm, through consistency, through alignment. And when alignment improves, sleep stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like return. Asterisk. Training your brain to sleep better also involves understanding expectation and prediction. The brain is constantly predicting what will happen next. If bedtime consistently follows the same sequence of events, dim lights, quieter activity, reduced stimulation, the brain begins to anticipate sleep. Anticipation lowers arousal automatically. Over time, this predictive process makes falling asleep easier. But if bedtime is unpredictable, sometimes stimulating, sometimes stressful, sometimes delayed, the brain cannot form a stable expectation. Uncertainty keeps alertness slightly elevated. Predictability reduces effort. Another powerful factor is timing of food intake. Your digestive system follows circadian rhythms as well. Eating very late at night can shift metabolic signals and increase body temperature. Digestion requires energy. Energy increases alertness. Finishing meals at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime allows the body to redirect resources toward restoration instead of processing. Alcohol is another misunderstood variable. While it may increase drowsiness, initially, it fragments sleep architecture later in the night. REM is often suppressed in the first half of sleep and rebounds unpredictably later. This can lead to early awakenings and unstable cycles. Training sleep means choosing patterns that support stability, not temporary sedation. There is also a concept known as sleep opportunity window. Your body has a natural period in the evening when melatonin begins rising and alertness declines. This window may feel subtle, a moment of quiet tiredness. If you ignore it and stimulate yourself with bright light or engaging content, the window can close. A second wind may appear. Catching that initial window strengthens the brain's association between timing and sleep onset. Chronotype plays a role here as well. Training sleep does not mean forcing yourself into someone else's schedule. It means aligning your habits with your biological tendencies as much as possible. A night owl attempting to sleep at 9 p.m. may struggle regardless of ritual, but that same person might fall asleep easily at 11:30 p.m. if the rhythm is stable. Gradual adjustment works better than extreme shifts. There is also a neurological principle called state-dependent learning. The state your brain is in when you practice a behavior influences how easily that behavior returns. If you consistently enter bed feeling anxious, the bed becomes associated with alertness. If you consistently enter bed calm and dimly lit, the bed becomes associated with relaxation. Over time, the association strengthens. This is why late-night work in bed can be disruptive. The brain links the environment with cognitive activation. Separating work and sleep spaces, when possible, reinforces conditioning. Technology habits are particularly important in modern life. Notifications create unpredictability. Unpredictability increases vigilance. Even the possibility of a message can keep attention slightly activated. Turning devices to silent or placing them out of reach reduces anticipatory alertness. The brain relaxes when it knows interruption is unlikely. Breathing patterns influence sleep onset more than most people realize. Slow exhalation activates the vagus nerve, increasing parasympathetic tone. A simple pattern, inhaling slowly through the nose and exhaling longer than the inhale signals safety to the nervous system. Safety reduces vigilance. Reduced vigilance allows sleep to emerge. Training your brain to sleep better is less about adding complexity and more about removing interference. Regular wake time, morning light, dim evenings, consistent meals, limited late stimulation. Pre-sleep routine. These are small signals, but the brain integrates them. Another often overlooked element is patience with nighttime awakenings. Waking briefly during the night is normal. Sleep occurs in cycles, and brief arousals happen naturally between them. If you interpret a normal awakening as failure, stress increases and wakefulness extends. Accepting brief awakenings as part of sleep reduces arousal. The brain returns to sleep more easily when the experience is not resisted. There is also evidence that cognitive reframing improves sleep quality. When individuals view sleep as restorative rather than performance-based, onset latency decreases. Reducing pressure reduces hyperfocus on falling. Sleep is paradoxical. Trying harder makes it harder. Allowing it makes it easier. Circadian biology, behavioral conditioning, autonomic balance, and cognitive expectation all interact. Training sleep means aligning these systems gradually. No single night defines your pattern. What matters is repetition. Your brain adapts to what you repeatedly signal.